Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode here in NHL 23. And I just have a little heads up before we get into this episode. I have not done any pre-scouting again for any potential trades and all that because I'm just kind of running low on self-confidence with this series, just because this team really just can't find a way to win in the playoffs, and obviously we just missed the playoffs, which is even a bigger problem in its own right. So I honestly don't know what we want to do in order to get this team to being a contender. Obviously, I think keeping the team as together as possible is a good thing, but also trying to get that youth integrated as much as possible as well is a good thing too. But obviously the youth guys that we brought into the NHL this year didn't really do much. But we definitely want to try and get at least Vance and Reefers and Brunstrom another Stanley Cup before they retire, because the three of these guys are very close likely. Also Brossoit too, who we brought in recently, he's been dropping off. Brunstrom's been dropping off. Reefers dropped down to an 86. So we are starting to get into that territory where guys could randomly retire. I just hope that Asher Vance could still somehow willpower this team to a Stanley Cup, but we only have had one Stanley Cup in this entire series so far, so this team definitely needs to find a way to get over that hump. I don't really know what it is that we're going to do in order to get our team better, but we definitely need to find something in order to do that. So yeah, I'm just I'm not having as fun with this series as I used to, but obviously I still want to get it done with because we are going to be running this all the way till the end of NHL 23, or till the end of the 25 seasons, and then obviously after that I probably would, if this ends before NHL 24 somehow, still I don't think it will, but if it does, then I guess I'll just have kind of my one series only at that point for a little bit. But anyways, let's get into a few comments, or yeah, one comment. Actually, there's two comments technically from Michael. Let's get into both of them. So the first one says, hope you're okay, but after that fall in hockey, take care and hope it wasn't Probert that hit you, lol. And no, I just fell on my own. I think you guys would have saw it by now in the GoPro video. If you watched that video, I just basically stumbled over my own feet, and right now my cuts and stuff like that, or they're actually kind of more like rug burns on my arm and whatnot. They're still pretty painful, to be honest, but they are healing, which is good. So it really does suck though, quite a bit, because it's all on my left side of my body. So when I try to sleep on my left side, it's kind of painful to sleep on that side. So hopefully they are better and ready to go for Wednesday when I play again. And then the last and final comment from Michael says, please get an OHL scout for next episode as Violet left. So yeah, we do need to get ourselves an OHL scout, so we'll definitely do that after the draft and all that sort of thing and resign stage. But yeah, let's get into this draft. I honestly don't know what we're going to be trying to do in this draft, because we have, I believe it was at number 10 in this draft, I think. I got to double check where we're drafting. I could always try and move up and grab an elite player if we can't get one at our spot. We have 11th overall, okay? So I did pin a couple players, like I said in the last episode. So High Note, who looks pretty good but might be a top 4 defenseman, hard to tell. Benino, who also looks really good but is NHL ready as a top 4. And we also have Klesla, who's definitely a top 4, 3 years out, but not as good as the other two. Shannon Thomas, who is also looking like a low elite, that's 3 years out, maybe a top 6. Magnus Jensen, who looks really good 1 year out. And what is his potential again? Or do we know it? Oh, we don't know his potential, but he's probably really good because he's 1 year out. And then we also have Brookbank, who is a guaranteed, what is he again? Medium elite. Yeah, he's a medium elite guy that's 2 years out at 19. So we are going to be able to get some probably good players in this draft to help out our prospect pool, and hopefully that's what we need to kind of push us over the top in these next few seasons. As soon as possible is better for us though, because obviously with the guys that could be retiring. So anyways, let's get into this draft, see what's ahead of our pick, and see if we are able to maybe move up a little bit. I don't know if we are going to try to or not, because let me just take a look and see if it's worth moving up into the top 10. I think there was a guy that was worth moving up for, but maybe not actually. Yeah, because this guy's just a top 6, a top 4. I think we might just keep with our pick and then get who has the best ETA potentially. Because technically I could try and move up all the way into the top 5, but I don't think it's worth it. We definitely have the assets to move if we want to trade players. But yeah, we do have a lot of goaltenders at the moment. Blackburn is the one guy that should probably be getting dealt here at this draft, I guess, since Tayukin's going to be taking his spot. So let's go to the trade finder and see if we could find something for Blackburn. Because I think I'm going to move out Blackburn at least in this episode, just so we could get ourselves a goaltending situation of Gunderson and Tayukin, unless I want to get rid of Gunderson and then just try and run Tayukin and Blackburn, but that's pretty much almost what we ran last year, in a sense. Let's see what Gunderson could get us. Some prospects, not really that much. It's all from Nashville. So there is actually teams interested in Gunderson, if we wanted to move him. Blackburn gets us like some later round picks, which is not really that much and not really worth it. But we would rather probably keep on to the Gunderson, just so that way we actually have ourselves a higher overall goaltender as the starter. Blackburn last year had a 906. I believe Gunderson was worse, but he started a lot more. Yeah. Technically, trading Gunderson would probably make the most sense. You know what? I'm going to trade Gunderson here. I'm going to trade Gunderson instead. Because some of these trades are pretty nice. So we could get Barker, Rizzy only on his own, huh? Rizzy must be decent if they're willing to give up just Rizzy. Let's take a look at what Rizzy looks like. 76 overall, top 6 forward, 20 years of age. Left wing, right wing, has X factors, is a sniper. Is a 13th overall pick. You know what? Let's take on this guy. Why not? I'm trading Gunderson just for a prospect. I just need to get rid of a goaltender or somebody. So there we go. We got rid of Gunderson even though we just recently brought him in. I just needed to offload that salary because I think we need to have a big offseason, maybe free agency wise. So I think that's a good move for our team. Gets a good young prospect in. That could help out a little bit more because now you can see at the left side, which used to be pretty weak, we got Rizzy and we have Huxley and Gustafson. So we're starting to build up a decent, and also Canzanello. We're starting to build up a decent left wing pool, which I believe before was a problem. So Hamel goes first overall to the Columbus Blue Jackets, 81 overall power forward. Might not have any zone abilities, which is very interesting, but does have superstars abilities. Let's take a look at the rest of the top 5 because I think that's the only trade we're really going to make here in this episode. Ruskovich going to Colorado. Yeah, this guy's going to be pretty good. Damn good shooting category. 1T, Snipe all alone in close quarters. Let's take a look at Florida at 3. They take Smithson, the defenseman, 2A. There we go. He's got in reverse, off the rush, yoink, and thunderclap. Philadelphia at 4 is going to take Parrott. So there goes the defenseman that we could say that is like the brother of Avery Parrott in our Anchorage series, Matt Parrott. That's what he looks like. Quick pick, in reverse, shrug it off the rush, and back at you. It would have been cool to have another Parrott for sure, but at the same time, I don't think it's worth moving up for him. So, and Roussel is the 5th overall pick. He's a 66 overall, top 6, going to Pittsburgh. So there we go. Let's sim to our pick at number 11 here and see what we can snag up here. Looks like a couple high 77 overall players right now are going. Kind of sucks that Motzko just went because it would have been nice to add more to our center depth in a sense, but him and Chen are really good overall wise. Let's see if we could get one of those 77s as well. Because Heino looks good. He's 1 year out for sure. Bonino is NHL ready. So I'm kind of leaning towards Bonino. Just because of the fact he's NHL ready. I'm definitely not going Klesla here. Even though he's a gem. Yeah, I think we got to go. Yeah, we definitely got to go Bonino. Bonino has way more A's. And guaranteed A's at that. So he also's got size and skill, shutdown ability. He's got a heavy slap shot, so he might be really similar to kind of like a Shea Weber, right? No similar style to a player, but I'd say he's probably like a Shea Weber type of thing. So Elias Bonino, welcome to Chicago. Maybe you'll be a good defenseman for us. 76 overall, okay. He might get a chance to play on the NHL team next season, or we could just throw him to the AHL for a year, and then he'll probably be NHL ready right away, which would be good. Kind of gives us more depth at that defensive role, which is exactly what we need. So quick pick and off the rush is what he has. Attribute-wise, he does have a lot of shot power, not very much accuracy. Solid passing, more defensively oriented, I think. Solid skating, physical play isn't really there, to be honest. That's kind of surprising. Like, the body checking and durability is solid, but the other stuff definitely needs to improve a lot. Well, at least his fighting skill. Aggressiveness and strength aren't super high either. But that's a solid pick, I'd say. Let's see if we made the right call, though, with Benito. Yep, I know it was a 73. He is still pretty good, but he is a little bit worse. So there is high note to Boston. And then afterwards, a high top 9, 13th overall. This is another guy I wanted to look at, right? No, I don't think so. Let's jump to our next pick in the next round and see if we can continue adding to our prospect pool here. So I don't want to go with anybody that's supposed to go around this point, I don't think. So we have a medium elite goaltender and we have a medium elite sniper. I'm going to go with the medium elite sniper already. He's 2 years out at 19. And in next round, we could always go for another goaltender, Bauma, to just continue building up that goaltending prospect pool. So yeah, let's go with Fred Brookbank. Since we know he's going to be a medium elite sniper, he's going to have very good shooting. His other stats, maybe not as good. Senses, physical, and defense is pretty solid, but his puck skills and skating, not ideal. But still, this guy's definitely going to be able to help us out for like secondary scoring behind Vance or something like that. Or maybe he'll become the replacement for Vance because Vance is getting pretty old. So, Fred Brookbank, let's see how good you are. Of course, he goes all the way to the next round. I hate when it does that. I hate it when they do that. Let's see. Brookbank, we know he's medium elite for sure. How good was he? 70 overall. That's really solid. That is really solid. No X factors, which is kind of weird, but he's got crazy hard, or not crazy hard actually. He's got a really weak shot, but the accuracy is insanely good. So I don't really know if that means he's going to score a lot or what, but this guy is looking pretty balanced. Yeah, he's looking pretty balanced. I like that pick. Hopefully he can develop that what is it, that accuracy a little bit more though, or power or whatever it was that was weakness. Okay, let's sim to our next pick here at 75. See if we could find anything else. We do have still that elite goaltender, but he's not supposed to go for a little bit longer. Henry Ryan, he's a goaltender too. I don't want to take so many different goaltenders. There's a lot of goalies in this draft though. I bet you a good chunk of them are elite goaltenders. Not seeing really any elite fours potentially. Faith not supposed to go till the 7th round. This guy's 3 years out at 20. He is supposed to go around this point. It's a bit of a risk considering he's already 20 years old, but let's just go with Isaiah Holden, because why not? Why not? Low top 6, 66. I mean, it's a high overall for a 20-year-old. Kind of. Might be a good AHL player, but I don't think he's going to be an NHLer. Let's see if we could get that goaltender still just to add some more value to our roster. Aiden Boma, yeah, we could go with him now. He has apparently maybe an X factor. 5 years out. Not the best stats, but we definitely just need to keep adding more value to our team pretty much. 59 overall. There is Boma. Solid. I'd say it's been an okay draft for us in terms of getting some good talent, at least in the first 2 rounds or so, but now is the point where it's like, what do we draft? Luke Bobelev, another 20-year-old? No thanks. I don't think I need to take another 20-year-old and risk something. Yeah, the rest of this draft is really not doing too much for me. Let's sort by potential again. We could always go with Benjamin Faith already. This guy might be a medium elite goaltender for sure, but I don't really think it makes sense for us to grab like another medium elite. He might be a fringe starter because he's supposed to go 7th round now. He might not actually be as good as he looks. Let's just take Faith here so we can get a low elite knocked out potentially. Yep, 49 overall. I'll take it. So there's Benjamin Faith. Another good prospect potentially for us. I'd say this has definitely been a good draft in terms of building up our prospect pool more. Even though our prospect pool is usually always really good, we just need to keep on replenishing it so we could be competitive for these final 7 or so seasons. Rest of this is not looking good though. Not looking good. We might have to just see if we could find ourselves a good low elite steal potentially here. I don't want to take somebody that's 20 though, to be honest. I did see somebody that might have B shooting, right? Yeah, B minus shooting. Brendan Stoll. Let's take a chance with Brendan Stoll here, the Swiss guy. Low bottom 6. Oof. Okay, that's one of the worst picks I've seen. Okay. And our final pick of the draft. What do we want to go with here? That goaltender is still there. You know, we're going to take a chance with another goaltender. Might as well. Hey, medium elite. I didn't expect him to actually be medium elite if he was projected to go 7th round. Okay, Timofey Kudobin. So we got a couple medium elite goaltenders. That's actually really solid. Good value if we decide to make trades. But Benino, solid. He's almost NHL ready. Brookbank, solid. He's only 2 years out. And then obviously Boma and Kudobin, both medium elite goaltenders. Faith, a low elite forward. And then the other two, Holden was low top 6, and Stoll was low bottom 6. So I think we had a really good draft to help build up our prospect pool more. And yeah, I'm very excited to see if those players end up panning out before the end of the series or not. And jumping into our lineup as well. So let's get to this resign stage. We do need to resign a lot of scouts apparently. And we also still got to sign ourselves an OHL scout, which we'll do shortly. Or actually, we'll probably do that. Yeah, we could probably do that in this episode, because obviously free agency will not be in this episode. I'll show you guys the free agent pool, but always leave that for the next episode in this series. Okay, Menard. I think this year, though, we need to make maybe some big free agent signings to just maybe knock out some of the younger guys on our team or older guys on our team. Like, that's our best bet. And also, we could make some more trades this offseason, too, if you guys think there's anything we should do. Okay, so, resign stage. How much money we got? 28 million. See, that's why we had to knock out Gunderson, because that $7 million would have made us down to only 21 million. All these RFAs, I could technically just qualify them all, which I think I'm leaning towards, because might be able to get Gustafson on a good deal. What about Martins, because he's close to being a UFA? I could lock up some of these guys, but it's kind of a risk. Yeah, I think I'm going to qualify probably most of the RFAs. What is Leonardo Knights wanting? Yeah, I think I'm going to do a 3-year deal for Leonardo Knights and try and get him to accept like 1.25. Just because he's very close to being NHL ready, and I think he might get into our defensive core next year. I am going to qualify Del Monte, Martins, Kachuk. Kachuk's one of these guys that I should probably be signing soon, because his price is going to just keep going up, I think. Gustafson, no, I do want to sign him, I think. 5-year deal. What do you accept, like 2.8 for 5 years? Because I think that would be a good deal. Burish, we'll qualify probably everybody else here. Some of them will lose RFA status soon, but just got to qualify a lot of these guys. And hope that some of them still continue to develop. UFA-wise, what do we got for UFAs? Obviously going to let go of a couple of these prospects because they're not going to pan out, including Yui. So, unfortunately, got to let go of the Yui. It's funny because I posted a photo of that trade that was involved with Yui that the AI sent me that was really stupid. And Dustin Yui, so Yui Berry Gaming, he was just like that this guy probably has a lot of value or something like that. So the team that would be getting him was the winner of the trade or something like that. So it was pretty funny. But yeah, we got to let go of Yui. He's not going to pan out, unfortunately. For Gone, we are going to sign you for the AHL. And I think that's pretty much that. Let's go to the top. Wow. We don't actually have any super expensive UFAs, though. Yeah. Because we are going to be letting go of our Tukin because we don't have any need for him. And then the rest of these guys are very low-end players. Komachi's trying to get a lot, though. I don't know about keeping around Komachi. Is he listed as a top 6? Yes, he is. He's got good stats, but it's between him and Leonardo Knights for the top 6 roles. So I might sign him, but we might have to trade him. I am going to let go of Lowe, who we signed as a depth guy. And then let's see about these 76s. Gonna try and keep a couple of them for the AHL. Just because some of them have good potential. I'd like to keep 90 here for the AHL because he's been here for his entire career in the AHL, I think. So it'd be nice to hold on to him. But I'm going to give these guys one-year deals just because... Whoa, what the hell is this? Godfrey, what are you trying to do, man? How do you think you're worth $2 million? What type of player is he? Two-way forward. Okay, I guess that he was a first-round pick. Maybe that's why he thinks he's valuable. What the hell? Or did we sign this guy in free agency last year? We must have. But for some reason, he's just dropped off a lot. I was going to say, why is this guy trying to get $2 million as a 75? But damn. Yeah, you're gone for sure, man. No, thank you. We don't give $2 million to 75 overalls unless this is a draft of glory. Oh, man. Bilas. One-year deal might be okay with me as well. Just to make sure our AHL team stays competitive. Let's advance today, see if we get all those guys back. Which probably we will, since most of them are RFA guys. But yeah, very easy offseason. Actually, we do still need to bring in Komachi too, but let me just see if all these guys accept. Gustafson rejected, and Del Monte. Wait, was it Del Monte? No, Leonardo Knight's rejected. Come on, Leonardo. I'll almost do exactly what you're asking for. Because I think you're going to be a top 6 defenseman for us next season. It's going to be between him and Komachi for sure. Let's see if we can get Gustafson on a nice friendly deal here. 5x3 is even decent. I might want to still lock up Kachuk, but the more we go, it's going to be more expensive. So maybe I do something like 5x6. Because he's a legit top 4 defenseman at this stage. So, you know what? We're going to do a 5x6. I need to have some of my defensemen locked up, so. And then we might try and keep Komachi. We might. I don't know. Wow, they both rejected, did they? Yeah, they both rejected. What the hell is this? Come on, boys. You got to be nicer. Okay, I'll do 6.3, Kachuk. 6.3. And I don't know why Leonardo Knights is rejecting. It's almost exactly what he was asking for. Here, let's shave it off by $100,000 and that's it. Shave it off by 100,000. And then I don't really know about Komachi still because his asking price is a bit too high. Did Leonardo Knights reject again? He did. Wow, he does not want to budge on that 1.5. If I give him that 1.5, he might not accept it too. Maybe he just doesn't like the term. We'll see if he accepts this now. Yeah, now he accepts it. Okay. So he just didn't want to take a pay cut. We have $20 million in cap space. Yeah, I think I might actually let go of Komachi here. Unless we want to just have him be signed and then potentially traded next episode. Because if we look at our defensive core right now, we have Bernstrom, Jokela, Kachuk, Hutton. Kachuk dropped down to an 81 after we signed him to that contract. What the hell? And Hutton, then Del Monte, and then it would be Knights. Benino is very close. Komachi would be only signed for likely a year. I'm going to sign Komachi, I think, maybe for 1 year. Yeah, I think I'm going to sign Komachi for a 1-year deal. If he wants to accept 1 year at $3 million. We might honestly trade him away next episode if we see something better free agency-wise, but I think we just need to make sure we have the depth in a sense. Looks like some RFAs are accepting, which is great. I think Komachi accepted too. Yeah, he did. We're down to $18 million in cap space, and we only have 3 RFAs to sign that are going to try and hold out, it looks like, a little bit longer. Bursch is going to be really cheap, and he's not going to develop. He's not going to develop into being much. Because if you go 8 years, his asking price does not change. How was the season last year? 23 points. I'm trying to think if I want to actually bank on an 8-year deal at like 1 point something. I could easily do a 5-year deal or something like that. Let's do like a kind of a trial run for him. Like, let's do 4 years at what he's asking for. Because, I mean, I'm okay with giving him a 4-year deal at like a cheap, like, kind of depth role if he wants to be a depth player in this sense in the future. Del Monte kind of wants a similar deal to Kachuk, not really worth it. And Martin's We could get Martins on a fairly okay deal as well. I'm going to try and get some of these guys like kind of locked up a little bit, but we could easily trade them away with some of the contracts we're giving them. So just trying to make sure our team is solid as possible. Yes, because we don't have any UFAs. Perfect. So the only one that's going to be holding out as an RFA is going to be Del Monte. We got $60 million in cap space. He'll only get like $3 million likely once he gets actually signed up. So we technically have like $13 million in cap space. We could easily free up more cap space, but first let's see what our team needs, and we'll take a look at free agency, and then I'll also show you guys the trade block, and then that'll be it for this episode likely. But center-wise, we still have Vance, Reefers, Adamski, Martin, Ciska, Burish, and even technically Gustavo Brown. If there's any of these guys that should be flipped and traded, let me know. Like Adamski's a pending free agent, pending UFA. Is it time to move out from Adamski or hold on to him? He was actually pretty good, wasn't he? He had 28 goals, so maybe hold on to him for the year. Gustafson's now signed up long term. Huxley's a pending RFA, but he's going to be probably in our lineup still. We also got Brossois, Recchi, Corrado, Zubris, and wow, Knighty jumped up to a 78. Does he finally get a chance mostly in the NHL? He has yet to play an NHL game, but this guy has been in the AHL all the way since 2029. So he could honestly get a chance as a depth forward this year potentially, which would be interesting. So technically on the forward wise, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we could probably use a little bit more depth, or we could trade somebody away if you guys think so. Defensively, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we do also have our one defenseman that is currently on the holdout. That's Del Monte. So technically, we got our defensive core, I think, already set in stone, unless we want to move somebody out to make it even better. And goalie-wise, we got Tayupkin and Blackburn. So we could always make a change goaltending-wise if you guys aren't sold on that goaltending tandem. We technically do need to sign another goaltender for the AHL. So I might as well sign the overager and Boma. So that way we got 2 goalies in the AHL, Marsh and Boma. And we are also going to go to the unsigned tab here and sign Benino for the AHL as well, because I want to get him in. Don't think I want to sign anybody else yet. I could sign Brookbank, but yeah, it actually might be a good option to sign Brookbank. Yeah, let's sign Brookbank. Get a couple of those guys we just drafted in. Canzanello can't play in the AHL yet, so I'm going to wait on him still a little bit longer. But there you go. $16 million. Let's take a look at what is available free agency-wise. We could technically sign anything you guys see in free agency, but we would need to trade players if it's somebody that would be taken away from another player on our team. So let's take a look at what we got here. So let's go UFAs because I don't care too much about RFAs. The best center available is McClellan, a center playmaker that's 26 years old. Very expensive though. Most of these guys are going to be very expensive, but if you guys see anything that you think is intriguing for this team, let me know, because I'm not even going to really pay attention to who I see in this free agency unless I see somebody really, really good. But yeah, I just want your guys' opinion more on this series than my own, because at this point I'm kind of, like I said, I'm kind of lost with this series in the sense that the fact that we just can't find a way to win another Stanley Cup. Like, I've won multiple Stanley Cups in Anchorage, but this series for some reason it's just problematic. So, but if you guys see anything interesting, let me know. And then we'll also take a look at the trading block just in case we want to make a big trade. And also, obviously, we're going to sign ourselves an OHL scout. So I'll probably do that to end this episode, just because I might forget if I otherwise for next episode. So, wow, yeah, not a lot of good right wingers. The best overall right winger is 83. Not that we really need a winger, but yeah, that's funny. Whoa, 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 whoa. Lane Weeks is trying to get a lot of money. Coming off a 28-goal season in Colorado. Okay. He's actually doing much better in Colorado. That's good to see, but he has not lived up to his expectations. 78 overall is not very great, but he is able to put up a good amount of points. It's kind of neat to see him, though, doing well with another team. And now he's a free agent. Wow. Okay, the best defenseman available in free agency. We can't afford him, but we'd have to move out somebody on the defensive core. I don't think it's reasonable. 6 years wanted. This guy's 27 years old. Dane Pisani. This guy's insane. He just came off in Norris, I think. But he has been really good the last year. I don't know if he's actually that good, though. He might be similar to Jokela. Because look at his numbers. They didn't start off that hot, but the last 3 seasons, all of a sudden, he's been really good. And his playoff numbers are really good, too, huh? That's interesting. I don't think that contract is something I want to have, though. $15 million on a defenseman. That's like $5 million more than what Burnstrom's making right now. But there is some good defensemen, but mostly top 6 defensemen. So not a great free agent pool for defenders, which we don't really need defensemen anyways, but still. So there we go on that front. And goalie-wise, in case you guys think the goaltending tandem's weak, because it might be, there is an 89 overall goaltender, but he's 35 years old. In Svitov. There is also Gulias, who's 88. Lidman, who we are looking at potentially trading for, who's 88, but wants a lot of term. There are some good goaltenders out there for sure. If you guys think anybody is worth looking at, because we could always upgrade the goaltending situation, but we could also try running with the 2 younger guys and just hope that it works out. Which we know last year didn't work out, but who knows, maybe Tayukin is what we needed. So, there's all that. Okay, final thing, let's take a look at the trading block, and then I'll also sign myself an OHL scout, and then that'll be it for this episode. So, let's see, is there anything interesting on the block out there at this stage? We're not really looking for prospects, we're looking for people that are good right now. So Alos on defense, signed for 2 years. Lindstein, Kiviharu, so a couple defenders. Our former player in Pakislati, who's in Calgary now. How did he do actually last year? 25 goals, 47 points his first year in Calgary, minus 20. Jeez. He's still a pretty good player considering he was a 7th round pick. And Clark Caswell. What else we got here? Mostly picks. Mara in Columbus. Interesting. Some prospects in Detroit. Edmonton has Bales on the block for 1 year left on his contract. How did Bales do in Edmonton? 35 goals. Wow. Wow, Bales is starting to be a really good player for some other teams. We traded him to St. Louis. He got traded from St. Louis to Toronto. Wins the Stanley Cup, I'm pretty sure. Then he signs in free agency with the Edmonton Oilers, picks up a 35-goal season, and he didn't even play all 82 games. Shout out to Bales. And then he didn't show up in the playoffs, though, like he did the time when he won the Cup with Toronto. It's funny. Morales, Krejcik. There is some definitely good players out there, but I don't really know if there's anything that's worth upgrading our team with. Matthew Addison, former elite goaltender with the Minnesota Wild, dropping off a lot. What else we got here? Some more prospects in Montreal. Medium elite prospect there in Nashville that hasn't panned out yet. 21 years old and only 73. Damn. Yeah, Nashville's trying to offload a lot of their good prospects, which is interesting. We did make a trade with them for one of their prospects, so they're just trying to win a Stanley Cup as soon as possible, I guess. Brandon Yeager, but 10.8 for an 85 is a bit pricey at points. Skilly, kind of making a bit too much for an 83, but still. Sugihara, Jocelyn, Pessinen, Vernarski. Wow, that contract is terrible, though. 4 years at 9.885 for an 83 in day. There is definitely some intriguing things out there, but I honestly don't know if there's anything that's going to make us much better by trading for them. There's an elite goaltender that's signed for 2 years, and then he's likely a UFA in Albatozer. 88 overall. Has been a backup for the last 2 seasons. Had almost an identical record both years. Wow. Never played in the playoffs. Really weird situation there. I don't know how good their starting goaltender is if he's a backup. Unless he just got a lot of growth all of a sudden. Quinn Hughes is on the block. 1 year, 2 years left on his contract. He's dropping off a lot, but I know he does pick up a lot of points in franchise mode. Last season, he didn't put up as much as he normally does, though. So I think he's starting to finally fall off. If he wasn't falling off, I'd be like, hey, maybe we should bring him in, but eh. Nothing really there in Colorado, or not Colorado, Vancouver. Why am I saying Colorado? Zegers is dropping off a lot too. He should be retiring soon. Washington 2-2, but his contract is terrible. And Winnipeg has Edwards, Abdelkader, Malkin. Can barely talk for some reason. So there is what's on the block. Final thing, let's sign ourselves a scout for the OHL. Let's go sign scout here and hire scouts, and we need just one OHL scout, or one scout in general. We can move over to OHL. So Zoe Sasaki, you are going to be our OHL scout. You're not that good at the OHL yet, but I mean, we could just easily move you over to the OHL, I think. Let's just check if there's actually one that's good for the OHL. No, there's not. Okay, there's not a lot of good scouts out there. We'll just bring in Sasaki and change her over to the OHL next episode if she wants to sign with us. So there you go. That is that. And then we'll have all our scouts in the right spots. We could still look at changing our coaching staff, so I'll take a quick look at what there is for coaches. This guy might be a straight A+ coach, but I don't know how good of a fit he is with this team. 63% it's saying right now. Interesting. And back is 52%. What is the fit for Kopitar? 64. So technically that A+ coach is worse, but he might be a coach that's worth bringing in. I don't know. We could try and change up our coaching staff again if that helps out our team or not, but I honestly don't know what is going to turn this team into another Stanley Cup champion. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode. So in next episode, we'll take it to free agency. We might sign some good players, maybe not. We might make some trades for good players, might get rid of some players on our roster depending on what you guys think we should do. And yeah, that'll be pretty much it. So let you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.